Hi everybody, Dirk from Loki's Reverie here. It's late September, early Sunday morning. We are still preparing for Halloween, and apparently my neighbor has a new mini bike. Today, I'm going to show you something really fun, really simple, really easy, and even better, really cheap. The whole point of Halloween is to have fun, and spending a whole bunch of money isn't fun. You see I've got my Loki's Reverie shirt on, so I'm good to go. Today we are going to be making body parts, hands, feet, whatever. I'm making skulls. To make your skulls, you really only need a few things. Now, you can use any type of form you want. You can use a hand, you can use a foot, you can use a leg. I wanted to make some heads for the props, and when I hit YouTube or I did a Google search or anything, they always said, well, to make a head, first thing you need is a head. Well, if you have a head, you don't need one. But I like to make some nice form-fitting things for my props, and a skull's a good base to build off of. You can do a whole bunch of things with it. I'm going to bring it on in here and let you see what we can do. Just a second. Okay, so here's one I did last night. I left the back rough. You don't have to do that, of course. If you want to make it nice, you can cut it off. Or if you really want to be a completist about things, you can get a mold that's both front and back and then glue the two together or form them together. But in order to make any type of part like this, you need, of course, some spray foam. This is the great stuff. I get mine at Home Depot. You can also get it at Walmart. See, this is the window and door. It's a little bit nicer to work with. You can use any of it, but this stuff works really good. You need some type of mold. I am using a skull jello mold. Actually, I'm using two of them. Here's one that's almost done. That I found at a dollar store for $2. You're going to need, where did I put it? You're going to need some petroleum jelly, some Vaseline. That will do you fine. I still got the spray insulation on there. You see here I got some sticks with foam insulation on them that helps. You're also going to need some paper towels and some water. Now, I don't know if you can see this real well. This mold here, I've already greased up with the petroleum jelly. You want to put the petroleum jelly inside the mold, and when you do it, you want to make sure you get every single little nook and cranny in there, and you want to get it real well lubed. If you don't, your foam is going to stick to it. It's designed to stick to it. Okay, you'll need some paper towels torn up into little bitty pieces here, and they need to be wet. You're going to put, basically you're going to put a layer of foam in here to get about halfway full, and then you put the paper towels over on top of that in little strips and little crisscross pattern or whatever, so as the foam expands it gives it something to expand and grab onto, otherwise you just have a big gelatinous mess inside. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm going to put the camera back over here, and then I'm going to show you how simple and easy this is to make. Now, one of these molds here cost me $2. It's about $4 for a can of great stuff, and you can get, using the half molds here, just the front parts of a skull, I can probably get about 6 or 8 out of them. Paper towels are a few cents a roll, and so I can make myself 6, 7, maybe even 8 of these for really about $7, $8. Not bad. So now I'll get you through the process here. Okay, like I said, this is really easy and really simple to do. First thing you do is make sure that you have your mold nice and well Vaseline. Now see right here, I got a spot that I missed. And if you miss any spots, woe unto you. Pulling the foam out of the mold becomes a big disaster. Just want to make sure you get a nice, good, even coat all the way around. If you slop too much in there, like I tend to do, it might hide some of your detail, but for a few bucks to make a whole bunch of these, it's really not a big deal. Alright, so when your mold is nice and greased up, you take your great stuff. Now you'll notice that mine is missing the tip. I used this last night and had to pay the price. Now you should always wear gloves with this stuff. It's really nasty. You can get it on your skin. You can use acetone to remove it, of course. And all you really do is just take this and spray it into your mold. You want to get, this stuff expands a whole bunch. And I take this is an old brush that I use for contact cement, so it's nice and hard. And I'm just kind of smashing it down to a point, because you got the Vaseline in the mold, it doesn't want to stick. But with that first little bit, what I like to do is try and get it into the nooks and the crannies and things like that. Okay, then you take some more of this. Now this mold here, the eyes are inset, so I like to get it just over the eyes. Now you see here how I'm banging this in? That will help get it all down in there nice and even. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you bang this up against your countertop or whatever. Okay, I've got it just up over to the eyes here. Then you take your wet paper towel strips and you just pop them in here. This way, as the foam expands, it will have something to grab a hold of. Now again, you can do whatever you want. You can go to party stores, gag shops, whatever, and you can find all sorts of things that you can make out of foam. I found some hand molds. Looking to build a prop, you want some hands. Guess what? Cheap hands. There we go. Maybe one more here and there. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be in there 100% of the way. It just has to give it something to grab a hold of. Pop that one there. Maybe get a little one on the side. So this way, as the foam expands, it will crunch that up. Yeah, and I'm out. Be right back. Okay, back with some more here. Not the type I like, but it's what I had. Sometimes what you have is better than what you don't have. Well, pretty much all the time. Now, so looks like with the way I did this, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 skulls. That one's really overflowing there. Now you really don't have to fill them up all this way like I am, but I like to do that. I got a little bit excited there. Now here, I'm just taking this brush and I'm just dabbing it in, just trying to get it all up into the crevices and the corners as much as I can. Once I've got that done, you see I got a little bit of paper towel showing through there on the back. That's alright. It's no big problem. It doesn't really matter. Nice thing about Halloween when you're making things is it's not like you're putting a new floor or new plumbing or new electrical in your house or anything. If you're doing something on your house and you screw it up, you're really worse off than you were. You screw something up for Halloween, guess what? Paint some blood on it, you're good. Well, you don't want to go with too much blood. Remember, gore is bore. I'm not saying that blood doesn't have its place, but if that's all you do, so what? Nobody cares. Now, making your own props like this is a lot of fun, and stuff that people see at Walmart isn't scary. Hey, look, isn't that the demon we saw for $100 at Walmart? Well, if you got $100, you could build, well, let me see, these are coming out to be about $1 a piece. So, for $100, you can make 100 of these. Okay, now when you have all that in, now if you don't like the end rivet there, now this stick here actually has some styrofoam on there. It's a good little masher. You just want to give it a gentle tap. If you stir it, it's going to come apart and get that mashed down. So as this expands, it's going to expand up this way and give me a good back. You know, when you have your whole thing done here, it doesn't have to be perfect. You kind of want to look underneath here and see if you have everything in there. I don't. It's okay. It's not going to make a big difference for me. But if you really want to be a completist about it, you should fill it up just a little bit and then tap it really good and hard, and then fill it up some more, tap it really good and hard. I've got that in. Now what you want to do is get it to settle in here. It's starting to look really good. I got a little bit around the nose ridge here, but it's not so bad. And that's all there is to it. And when you're done, you want to let this stuff sit at least 24 hours this way. If you're doing a whole head mold, then you probably want to wait 3 or 4 days because it'll take a long time for the internal foam to cure. But when it's done, you have a nice lightweight skull here. Yeah, it's not a perfect skull, so what? You can paint it, you can do all sorts of things. The nice thing about it is it's foam, so if you want to take away from it, you just dip a paintbrush in a little bit of acetone and you pop it on here and it will start dissolving it away super fast. You look at that, coming right off. You can also cut it here. You can use a simple hacksaw, a hand saw, anything, you know, an X-Acto blade, whatever you want, and cut it flush. Now these are going to be used for prop heads, and I'm probably going to make a couple door hanger ones for our front fascia. But here we are. So for about $4, I now have 4 skulls. Pretty cool and pretty cheap. And the nice thing is if you want to make anything else, like I was saying, you can make hands. You can do, if you want to find hand jello molds, you can do feet, you can do legs, you can take anything you want and form it using foam. If you even really wanted to, you could actually get some cardboard tubes, line the insides of those, fill them up with foam, and then boom, you have something you can carve an arm or leg or whatever out of. Alright, so that's it for our second tutorial, and pretty soon we're going to be building a whole bunch of really good and spooky props. Alright, talk to you later.